This is Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
It's Oh Behave with Arden Moore, the show that teaches you how to have harmony in the household with your pets. Join Arden as she travels coast to coast to help millions better understand why cats and dogs do what they do. Get the latest scoop on famous faces, their perfectly pampered pets, and who's walking who in Rin Tin Tinseltown. From famous pet experts and best-selling authors to television and movie stars, you'll get the latest buzz from wagging tongues and tails. Garner great pet tips and have a doggone fur-flying fun time. So get ready for the pause and applause as we unleash your Oh Behave host, America's pet edutainer, Arden Moore.
Welcome to the Oh Behave Show on Pet Life Radio. I'm your host, Arden Moore. It's time to talk turkey and football and dogs. That's right. It's time to call over your favorite pooch and tune in to the National Dog Show on NBC on Thanksgiving Day. And here to share details about dogs and how you can win $500 or a trip to the 2019 National Dog Show in Philadelphia are the men behind the mics, the doggone best dynamic duo. I am speaking, of course, of the host of the National Dog Show presented by Purina. Join me in giving pause and applause to actor, author, and Broadway star John O'Hurley.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great, John. And arguably the world's top canine expert, the one and only David Fry. Welcome, gentlemen.
Well, thank you. Arguably.
Arguably, that's the word of the day. Hey, guys, we're going to continue talking with David Fry and John O'Hurley. But first, raise your paw if you like to party. If you want to throw a doggone great dog party for your favorite four-legger, we urge you to go over to Molly and Bandit Pet Party Accessories. Easy to find. Just go mollyandbanditpetparty.com/petlife. This place has everything you need to have a awesome pet party for your pal. Did your dog finally graduate from dog obedience school? Throw a dog party. Is it your dog's birthday? Throw a dog party. And you can get everything you need at the Molly and Bandit Pet Party Accessories. We're talking pet party hats, bow ties, tutus, and more. Go to mollyandbanditpetparty.com/petlife. Pause up, party on. I'm so glad to have you both on the show, and I really love this tradition. We've got the Macy Parade, check. We got dogs until 2, check. We're going to gobble down some turkey, check. And we're going to catch some football. And we know there's a lot of folks out there who love football, but as we know, thanks to our cool guest, quarterbacks won't be the only ones barking signals on Thanksgiving Day, because from noon until 2 p.m. on NBC, jot that down, more than 2,100 dogs representing more than 150 breeds are going to vie for Best in Show honors at the National Dog Show presented by Purina on NBC. And, of course, the event is hosted by the Kennel Club of Philadelphia. I think you guys, isn't it about 22 million dog lovers are expected to tune in? Is that right, guys?
Well, we're moving actually upwards of about 30 million now.
Oh,
that's our expected
nice
viewership. We started at 19 back in 2002, and it's been nice to watch this develop into a family tradition every year.
Oh, that's for sure, John. And there's 3 key reasons to tune in. You love dogs. You have a chance to win $500 or a trip to the 2019 National Dog Show in Philadelphia. And, of course, I think the top dog reason is John O'Hurley and David Fry. You guys, I just realized this. This is kind of scary, but also exciting. You have been a guest on my show every year since inception, and that's now the 10th season. Woohoo! Power to the paw. What do you guys think? John, we'll start with you. I know this is almost as exciting as winning like an Oscar or an Emmy, right?
No, it is for me. Absolutely. It's my favorite day of the year. And actually, not to correct you, but this is our 17th year.
No, you've been my guest on my show for 10 years. But
wonderful.
Yeah,
wonderful.
Yeah, but the National Dog Show has been around. Yeah, 17 years. You two have been joined at the hip or the collar.
The wrist and ankles were Velcroed.
And David, what do you think about being a guest? I know it's just a high honor being a guest on our radio show for 10 years in a row.
Well, Arden, I've known you longer than that, certainly,
That's right.
and it's always fun to be on with you. And whether it's this show or just talking about dogs and the great things they do for us in our lives, then I always have a great time being on with you. So I'm honored to be here once again.
Now, for the two people on the planet that don't know, guys, I mean, John O'Hurley, he was Mr. Peterman on Seinfeld. He's been in a lot of shows. He's a best-selling author. I love one of your books called Before the Dog Can Eat Your Homework. First, you have to do it. Life Lessons from a Wise Old Dog to a Young Boy.
Yeah.
You keep writing and you keep appearing on TV, Broadway, the movies. You lead a very boring life, John.
Well, I try to keep. It's tough to hit a moving target. Actually, this is the first year that I'll be double dipping because while we're recording the show and doing all the post production and press and everything, I'll actually be on Broadway at night doing my show, Chicago the Musical as Billy Flynn. I just recorded my 2000th performance, and I'll be continuing during the Thanksgiving week up until December 2nd.
Bravo, bravo. I'm from Chicago. Obviously, I love that musical. What do you think about playing the role of Billy Flynn? What a great role.
Well, it is. I get to wear a tux and look like the maitre d' at Del Frisco Steakhouse every night. And but I think it's one of the most elegant roles that was ever written for the Broadway stage, and I have more fun playing it every night.
And, the other thing is, it seems like we're in an era where everybody's great show from the past is getting a reboot. We've got, the Connors. We've got Murphy Brown. What's up with any chance of Seinfeld making a repeat?
I honestly don't think so. I think the show was about a band of selfish millennials back in their 30s. And I don't think a selfish 60-year-olds really make for compelling television.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, right?
Not that there's anything wrong with that, indeed.
All right. And my other special guest, of course, is David Frei. You've heard him, you've seen him. He was the voice of the Westminster Kennel Club dog show from Madison Square Garden, I think, for a zillion years. And he and John have teamed up for the National Dog Show and the one in Beverly Hills, too, right, darling?
That's right. On Easter Sunday, you'll get to see that on NBC again this year, or next year as it is. But yeah, I'm having a great life with John. He's taken me a lot of places and teaching me a lot of things, and I'm teaching him a few things about dogs. He's got a great eye for the great show dogs, and it's fun to hear him predict and comment on dogs. And I've seen how far he's come in 17 years of hanging out at the dog shows. And he's great to do the show with. He's everyman. He's representing all the people at home who are sitting at home wondering the questions that he asks and listening to us both.
Well, there's a great chemistry between you both, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention you also are a best-selling author. You've written The Angel by My Side, and I love the fact that you are the president of Angel on a Leash. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, that's also the title of the book I wrote about my therapy dog work and observations through the years. But Angel on a Leash got its start in New York City as a 501c3 charity, which we don't operate it as a 501c3 anymore, but we still operate Angel on a Leash in the concept of creating and administering therapy dog programs in different places around the country. My own dogs are part of an Angel on a Leash program here in my new home in Cannon Beach, Oregon, at the hospital in Seaside. So it's great things for everybody to be able to find something to do with the dog that you love and do something for people in need. And that's exactly what therapy dogs are doing. So thank you for that comment.
Well, yes, and I think you've influenced me because my dog and my cat that teach pet first aid, pet safety dog Kona, full name Ice Cream Kona, and pet safety cat Casey, full name Feline George Clooney. They are now certified as therapy pets. So we're doing what you're doing, and we were very much inspired by you, David. That's the only compliment you get tonight. I'm just kidding.
Thank you. It means a lot. Well, John wrote in one of his books, he did a couple of chapters on his observations of the therapy dog program that we were doing at the Morgan Stanley Children's Hospital in New York City. So John's an Angel on a Leash supporter as well. So it touches a lot of people.
I agree. And let's talk about the dog show. I mean, there's a lot up for grabs, and let's start with the dogs, and then we'll get into the contest that we're hosting with you. Pet Life Radio is a media partner, but I understand there's a very hard to pronounce dog that's going to be a new one at the event. I'm going to ask David to take on the one that's, oh my gosh, I'm glad I'm on radio because I can't pronounce it. There were no new breeds in 2017 by the American Kennel Club, but there is a new one for 2018. Can you help me out on that one?
Well, there's actually 2 of them, and because I know how to pronounce them, that keeps me employed. But John's learning about them too. But one of them is the Nederlandse Kooikerhondje.
Oh, come on, say it again, and let's hear John say it too. I want to hear that. All right, go ahead, first, David.
Kooikerhondje.
See, he's got it. Nederlandse Kooikerhondje. It's a dog from the Netherlands, as you can gather from that, from Holland.
Yeah.
And the Kooikerhondje. The Kooiker is actually the handler of the dog, and Hondje means hound. It's that duck tolling retriever dog that is used to lure ducks up a waterway into a trap. And it used to be used to harvest the ducks and take them for food. But nowadays, they capture these ducks, band them, and then use them for wetlands conservation research.
Oh, nice. So this is a nice doggy duck, a ducky dog.
Honorable job the dog has. The other new breed that we have is a French breed. I had French in high school, so Mrs. Bach, my high school French teacher, would be quite proud for me to say the Grand Basset Griffon Vendéen.
Oh, say it again. Say it again.
Grand, which is big.
Right.
Basset, which means close to the ground. Griffon, which is talking about this wiry face and coat that they have. And Vendéen, which is the region of France that they're most noted from. So a rabbit hunting dog, and we already know the Petit Basset Griffon Vendéen, which is a different breed. But those are our 2 new breeds, the Grand and the Kooiker.
And if I can just...
John, I want to hear your insights into both.
If I can just add an insight in here, I think that the AKC likes to toy with my fragile ego every year and certifies only dogs that have difficult names.
I think you're right. I have not seen the John Smith dog. Have you, John?
Not at all. Nothing. It took me 3 weeks to put a little sticky up on the shaving mirror as I was shaving in the morning to learn the breed, the Cholo Itzcuintli, hairless dog from Mexico.
And that one starts with an X, correct?
Oh, of course it does. Why not?
And then it just goes with a lot of vowels that Vanna White would love, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So I'm going to test you because the AKC is putting you to the test. I want you to please, for our listeners, name the 2 new breeds that are going to be showcased at this year's National Dog Show on Thanksgiving Day. Take it away, John O'Hurley.
The Nederlander Kooikerhondje and the Grand Dame Vian. I got to have this written in front of me. This is not fair. And I have to have my razor in my hand and my mirror. I'm nothing without that.
And I think you have to have a little Grey Poupon too, right?
A little bit, yes, it is. I know. I always feel like I'm ordering off the wine list when we read the names of some of these new breeds.
But you know what? Let's talk seriously, though. This is an amazing feat. And this show has been around since, 1875-ish, David?
That's about right. The Kennel Club of Philadelphia had one of the first dog shows ever in this country. And they skipped. They were bouncing around a little bit, but by the mid-30s, they established themselves and started having the show every year. So we've been around a long time, presenting these dogs to the public and helping educate people about purebred dogs and about responsible dog ownership. I mean, the lessons that we talk about during the show are things that apply to any dog.
That's right.
We want people to learn about the purebred dogs and their history and what they were bred to do and take a look at them up close and personal so that they may be able to think about getting one and adding one to their family. And the people who are thinking about adding a dog need to do their homework and find out how that dog fits their lifestyle. And that's what John and I work so hard to tell people about.
So give me a couple of total opposite dog breeds, David, just to give people an idea that God really had creativity when dogs were created and gave people the skill set to create different breeds.
Well, how about the Komondor?
Okay.
John, give us your line, the car wash line about the Komondor.
That's right. Whoopee, we found your hair.
Big corded dog that's a livestock guardian called the Komondor. It looks like something you should buy to put in your car wash. And then we've got our little Chihuahuas, our little toy dogs that sit on our lap and aren't really out working in the fields like some of these other dogs, but they're just as big in our hearts as the big dogs are. So I think they all descend from basically the same stock thousands of years ago, but they've gone a bunch of different directions and are doing different jobs for us originally. So yeah, I think that's the great thing people get to see on television is that great variety of dogs. We have 192 different breeds and varieties in our show this year, entered in our show. So you can see just about anything that your heart desires.
And we also have a chance to have our folks tuning in win some money and a trip to see the show next year. I guess it's airfare and hotel. From my understanding, it's $500 or a trip to the National Dog Show in Philadelphia. And we want everyone, because Pet Life Radio is one of your media partners. So, folks, you need to go to PetLifeRadio.com/dogs until 2, and it's all the details. Maybe, David, you can help me out. People are going to be, what's a MEME? I know it's 2018. They should know it, but...
It's social media. It's called a meme, where it's a picture of a dog, and you have written a caption for it, like John just said. For example, with one of the quartered breeds, with a Komondor or a Puli, where he says, "Hey, Whoopi, we found your hair." Having those kinds of captions that makes everybody laugh, and a fun picture of the dogs. The line about quarterbacks aren't the only ones that can bark out signals. And we want you to find a fun picture of your dog and give us a fun caption and send it in, and we'll see if we can get you to come to Philadelphia next year with us.
You know, I'll tell you one thing that we also enjoy every year.
Okay.
Is when people send us videos and photos of their dogs watching the National Dog Show.
Nice.
It's really quite fun to watch the reactions of them on video and just the straight photographs. Some of the dogs will walk around to the back of the set to look for the dog behind there. Others will sniff the set, they'll paw it, but it's very funny to see dogs' reaction.
I don't even smell you, but I know you're there. Where are you?
John and I both talk to our own dogs during the telecast. We'll say,
"No way,
Grace, I hope you're watching," and we have fun with that too. They're our family. We want to give a shout out to our dogs as well as all the other dogs in this country.
So let's get the 411. How is Grace doing, David?
Grace is doing great. She's 9.5, and she's a retired show dog, of course, a retired show champion, but she's visiting in a therapy dog program here at Providence Seaside Hospital, where Sherry, my wife, works as the Catholic chaplain. And then Angel, she's 11.5 and deaf, but very healthy. Being deaf, she's starting to bark a little bit more. It's because she can't hear herself bark, I don't think. But they're living the life here on the coast, here in Paradise.
Now, Grace is a Brittany Spaniel, right? And Angel's a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel?
And Angel's a Cavalier. They're both orange and white, so they're
good
different sizes, but everybody says, are they related? And no, they're adopted sisters, and they act just like sisters.
Sisters from a different mother. Hey, what about you, John? What's your canine?
Well, I have oddly enough, and probably it shouldn't be considered oddly at all, but we have the cousin of David's Cavalier, our little Sadie Mae. They came from the same breeder, and they had the same. I think David, correct me. Did they have the same mom or what?
I think their moms were sisters.
Their moms were sisters. Okay.
So
we got them at a similar time, so they've grown up in parallel. But we also have a wonderful little Havanese named Lucy, and then a rescue that I couldn't tell you what it is, because when we did the DNA on the dog, it looked like someone swam out and met the Navy ship. There were so many different breeds in there. But I tell you, she's a sweetheart, and she's about 2 years old now, and she rules the house.
And what is her name?
That's Charlotte.
Charlotte. Okay, so you're surrounded by fine women, aren't you?
Yes, I am. We love that. We love the female energy in the house.
All right. Now we're getting to the show. It's kind of exciting. I know joining you two, doing some work will be Mary Corella. She's amazing. She's an award-winning journalist, and she's written a couple of books. What role is she going to play for this show, David?
Well, Mary's our backstage reporter, which is great. She's a great observer of life, and we've all seen her on the Olympics and on the HBO show Real Sports, where she's won an Emmy. So she's a great addition for us to have, and great fun, and brings a great energy back there. And really, she was my partner at Westminster for 7 years also, so it's fun to be working with Mary anytime.
All right. Now, I need to ask you guys, there's all these dogs in all these groups. I want you to say, who are the ones you're really keeping an eye on? I remember last year, the dog that won was an itty-bitty dog named Newton, right?
Right, a Brussels Griffon.
Okay. So how has the life of Newton now been? Do you know?
Well, he's retired, and he has the girls come and visit him. And he's hopefully bringing out the next great generation of healthy, happy dogs.
So, John, when you ever retire, which I don't see happening, would you like the life of Newton?
Well, having the girls come to me, let me ask my wife if that's okay. But from my point of view, bring them on.
All right. So I know you guys can't pick them, but is there any dogs or different classes that you're really keeping an eye on, or can you give a little insight for our listeners when they tune in on Thanksgiving Day, Dogs Until 2, noon until 2 on NBC?
Well, we're always watching the Terriers. They're great little show dogs, so they're fun to have. But we kind of wait to see who is entered and who shows up. So that'll be fun. I know John has his favorites. He loves the Sporting Group.
Why is that, John?
Well, I love the drama of them entering the ring. I point specifically to the Irish setter's always been my favorite. I make the joke that it looks like the beautiful redhead that just walked into the cocktail party. But just that beautiful auburn coat and against the blue background of the rug in the arena, and the way that the carriage of that breed is just something that I find so stunning. I wouldn't necessarily say that would be the right dog for my lifestyle, but in terms of just pure visual, it's about as pretty as a show dog gets. And I think it contains all of the easy elements visually that we expect in a show dog, which is to come into the ring and show.
Right. What about the Terriers? Is that a group you're like keeping an eye on, David, or just that they're just know how to put on a performance?
Well, they are showy little dogs, and I talk about their dominance in the dog show world kind of relates back to the fact that it's a dog show and you got to show. And with Terriers, they're not so worried about their handler, and they just show themselves, but they're always on their toes. Remember what they were bred to do was to find rats and vermin and other little varmints that may be a problem for your home or your farm. So that makes them be on their toes all the time, looking for trouble, I like to say. So that adds a little bit of showmanship to them, and I think that makes it fun for them.
But you got the itty bitty and the giant breeds. I mean, I look at the bull mastiffs and I just feel bad because they're ones you really drool for, right?
Yes, you have to love moisture.
Okay. I just feel bad because the handlers always have, big, thick cloth or something wiping the drool away, but.
Yeah, drool rags, we call them. So, you got to be ready, and you want to be out of the way when they shake. We've had a couple of them shake as they run by our table, John and me, and we both dive under the table to get out of the fire.
Do you guys have any maybe special traditions that you two do before the show, or any things that you want to share? I know you probably shave. I
always make John look at my hair because I want my hair like him, and so I need that kind of help.
All right. How about you, John? What does David do for you?
No, after the show, I take David for a wonderful meal afterwards. We've done that traditionally now for most of the 17 years that we've done it.
Well, that's really nice. That's nice. Before we continue with our show, let's take a minute to talk to you about a health ally for your pets. I'm talking about Innovet, the company created in 2005 by a couple of pet lovers, Matt Terrell and David Louvet, who sport degrees in engineering and biochemistry. Now, together, they've developed a lineup of healthcare products for pets. Headlining the list are CBD oil products made for dogs and cats. The active ingredient is cannabis. This is safe and all-natural medication, and it's being used to help dogs and cats deal with a host of health issues, including arthritis, cancer, anxiety, and intestinal inflammation. Innovet's CBD oils and all their products come with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Every product is bottled at its facility, and every bottle is triple tested and guaranteed for consistency and potency. Learn more by visiting Innovet at InnovetPet.com. That's Innovet, INNOVETPET.com. And we have great news. Innovet is going to give you 30% off your order when you put the code in, the coupon code OBEHAVE30. That's OBEHAVE30 and save 30%. That's awesome. Well, guys, what is the most important message you want to get out? Let's have you each take a crack at this. The show is the National Dog Show, folks. It's airing on Thanksgiving. It's going to be from noon until 2. We love the slogan, Dogs Until 2. You get to get a chance to win $500 cash prize or a trip to the 2019 National Dog Show in Philadelphia by going to PetLifeRadio.com/dogsuntil2. We have all the meme contest details right there. You guys are going to pick the top 10, and I guess my producer, Mark Winter, and I are going to then anoint the champion of the big win. Not the best in show, of course, but best in meme.
Well, I'll start off by saying that the National Dog Show presented by Purina is the best piece of television programming, I think, in memory. It provides something for everybody to watch, and I can't say that about anything on television anymore. If you're 4 or you're 94 and you're spinning past the television with the remote, you'll stop on our show because there's nothing more compelling than watching a close-up of a great dog's face. And that's been part of the success we've had, the success that will continue. We'll expect an audience of 30 million, and David and I couldn't be happier to be the host for as long as we have.
Well put, John O'Hurley. And David Fry, finish strong.
Well, I'd like to echo everything John said. That was very well said. But, people get to watch the competition and, like any other sporting event and root for your favorites. You get to be entertained by 192 different breeds and varieties. And when it's all over, we just want you to turn to the dog that's sitting next to you on the couch and say, you know what, you're the real best in show dog, and give your dog a hug and give it a great life and do what you can for other dogs everywhere. Let's find them all homes and make them all happy and bring them into our lives.
Well, I will be sharing my couch with our 80-pound Bernese Mountain Dog mix, Bujo, with our Jack Russell Terrier mix, Kona, and our itty-bitty retired surfing dog, a terrier mix by the name of Cleo. And I hope all of you listeners are going to do the same. Gentlemen, I am always impressed and always honored to have you both on our show, and keep doing what you're doing for 2, 3, and 4-leggers out there. And John, I hope people know to catch your show on Broadway, Chicago, and I'm really honored. I'm not trying to be a smart aleck here. I really and sincerely appreciate and admire what you both are doing.
Well, it's a joy to be with you.
All right. Well, guys, I also want to salute our producer of Pet Life Radio. We are the #1 pet radio network on the planet, and that, of course, is Mark Winter. I want you all to dash over for details on how to win. This is the meme. We're talking about the contest. Just go to petliferadio.com/dogsuntil2 and come up with something really clever with a photo of your dog, and we will judge it, and the winner will get $500 or a trip to the 2019 National Dog Show in Philadelphia. Remember, Dogs Until 2 on NBC, Thanksgiving Day, and it's presented by Purina. And until next time, this is your flea-free host, Arden Moore, delivering just 2 words to all you 2, 3, and 4-leggers out there. Oh, behave.
Coast to coast and around the world, it's Oh Behave with Arden Moore. Find out why cats and dogs do the things they do, and get the latest buzz from wagging tongues and tails in Rin Tin Tinseltown. From famous pet experts and best-selling authors to television and movie stars, you'll get great tail-wagging pet tips and have a fur-flying fun time. All Behave with America's pet edutainer, Arden Moore. Every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.